Who's your favorite comedian? It used to be Mitch. It still is, but it used to be, too. Yeah, well, people either love him or they hate him. Or they think he's okay. I saw him once at Giggles in Seattle. Laughed so hard my sides hurt by the end of the show. He was hilarious, and it's so sad that he's not around anymore. We saw him opening for Louis C.K. or something. None of us had heard of him or knew who he was. He was, by far, the funniest one of the night. Holy crap. One of my favorite lines was he had a notebook of jokes he'd written that he would occasionally look at. At one point he looked at the crowd and said, "These aren't jokes, by the way. These are positive affirmations. This one says you are doing great, man. Can't please all the people all the time, and last night all those people were at my show." My apartment is infested with koala bears. It's the cutest infestation ever. Way better than cockroaches. When I turn on the light, a bunch of koala bears scatter. And I don't want them to. I'm like, hey. Hold on fellas. Let me hold one of you and feed you a leaf. Excellent Hedberg joke usage. God, I miss him. David Mitchell. Not the Cloud Atlas author, but the star of Peep's show. What was it that Shakespeare said? He said a lot of things, Jeremy. I love that show. It's against the law. I am a musician. I operate to a higher law. The law of if it feels good, do it. Oh right. What's that, Gaddafi's law? Colonel Gaddafi couldn't lay down a base hook mark. Even you should know that. Although I don't think it features my favorite. That's exactly where the economy is going, isn't it? Nobody makes things anymore, we just provide pointless services. I'm a party planner. I'm a pencil case organizer. I shout on panel shows. We used to make steel. YouTube link. David Mitchell and Lee Mack are a comedic duo for the ages. Both are hilarious. I have recently been introduced to the infinite wisdom of Norm Macdonald. That old chunk of coal can sure tell a joke. His wife is a real battle axe, though. Oh, you dirty dog. A moth walks into a podiatrist's office. How long a drive was this? No thanks, I don't want to walk on the moon. I'll just stay up here on the lunar capsule. He absolutely is great at telling jokes, or so the Germans would have you believe. He is an absolute legend. Chairman of the board remains one of the most savage jokes ever. Norm is one of the funniest comedians of our time. Just ask all the other comedians. George Carlin. His jammin' in New York stand-up is comedy gold. His whole thing about the airlines was hilarious. Please check in and around your immediate seating area. GC, seat. It's a goddamn seat. For any belongings. GC, well, what other kind of belongings are there? Public belongings? Do these people honestly think I might be traveling with a fountain I stole from the park? You might have brought on board. GC, well, I might have brought my Arrowhead collection. But I didn't. I'm going to look for things I brought on board. Would seem to enhance the likelihood of my finding it, don't you think? Get on the plane, F you. I'm getting in the plane, let the daredevils get on the plane. Why is it that most people who are against abortion are people you wouldn't want to F anyway? What an opener. Anyone who wants an introduction to Carlin should watch Back in Town. But he loves you. He loves you and he needs money. Selling is legal. Effing is legal. Why isn't selling effing legal? Original poster replies. Some of his crap had me rolling. Here's another pack of low-grade morons who ought to be locked into portable toilets and set on fire. I can still hear this in his voice. He's my favorite, because he wasn't just a comedian. Dude was a straight-up philosopher. Also, a hem rat crap, that crap, dirty old tang. 69 buttholes tied in a knot. Hooray! Lizard crap, F. Had to scroll way too far down for this. Carlin was one of the ones that gave rise to all the stuff above. Respect. James Acaster. Agreed. He's obviously hugely clever, his stand-up is so intricate. And yet he's also physically very, very funny when he wants to be. Everything he says and does is just pitched perfectly. No other comedian has ever made me crease up laughing just by commenting "oh yeah?" on someone else's story. It genuinely upsets me when he talks about not always enjoying his work. It's really sad that he brings so much joy to others but doesn't experience it himself. I saw him at a small show in London pre-COVID, and he was testing material. Super funny, but effing dark as he explained he'd gone through a mental breakdown, broken up with his girlfriend, then had to jump on a plane from somewhere in the USA to fly to the UK for Celebrity Bake Off, and didn't sleep either. That tried to make a cake, had a nervous breakdown, bon appetit. Joke in that episode is funny but dark knowing he was suffering so badly in the lead up to the taping. I loved him since Mock the Week and really glad to see him taking off. I did read recently that was trying not to talk so openly about his mental health as he didn't want to inadvertently glamorize a tortured artist persona. Seems like a lot of people have a trade-off being extremely talented and creative with personal demons. I need to watch Cold Lasagna Hate Myself 1999. A lot of people have said it's really good. Poor guy was going through it pretty badly though. I've seen the clips of him on Bake Off, and he looked effed. His stand-up is great and his appearances on British panel shows are somehow even better. The story he tells on Would I Lie to You About Spending it kill me every time I watch it. Web link. Or The Cabbage Kid. One of my fave things about Acaster is that Rowan Atkinson stole his girlfriend. That's a strangely written article. I thought that it was saying that Rose Maidfio had left James Acaster for Rowan Atkinson at first. Surprising lack of British comedians high on this post, and Acaster is one of my favorites. Also, a fan of Sarah Millican and Kevin Bridges' stand-up. I used to do drugs. I still do, but I used to, too. I'm against picketing, but I don't know how to show it. You know, I'm sick of following my dreams, man. I'm just going to ask where they're going and hook up with them later. YouTube link. My all-time favorite, I was watching this commercial, and the guy says forget everything you know about slipcovers. So I did. And boy was that a load off my mind. Then he proceeded to try to sell me slipcovers, and I had no idea what he was talking about. I order the club sandwich all the time, and I'm not even a member. I don't know how I get away with it. How do you feel about frilly toothpicks? I'm for 'em. My belt holds up my pants. But my pants have loops on them, so they can hold up my belt. Who is the real hero here? Bananas are like stop lights, but in reverse. Green means stop, yellow means go, red means, where the F did you get that banana? My apartment is infested with koala bears, it's the cutest infestation ever. I went to the store to buy a candle holder, but they didn't have any, so I bought a cake. Still don't need that receipt for that donut. I was going to take it home and file it under D for donut. I went to the doctor the other day and all he did was suck blood from my neck. Last time I go see Dr. Acula. Are you happy now, you effing X? Oh, you're a king, you say? Well, you will not believe what I have in store for you. And it's to your exact specifications. I used to lay in my twin bed and wonder where my brother was. I bought a house, it's a 2-bedroom house, but I think it's up to me to decide how many bedrooms there are. This bedroom has an oven in it. This bedroom has a lot of people sitting around watching TV. This bedroom is over in that other guy's house. My friend asked me if I wanted a frozen banana and I said no, but I want a regular banana later so, yeah. Nate Bargatze. He's my go-to right now. There's something about his delivery that kills me. His joke about the dead horse makes me lose it every time. Dave Chappelle. His all-time best bit was the ghetto at 3 in the morning. Gun store, liquor store, gun store. Where the F you taking me? I love the build-up too. Oh hey, what's happening? What? Slow down. No. F that crap, I'm on my way. Hey, I got to make a stop real quick. Nope, it was. We've got 5 black, hello? Dave's strength is in his storytelling ability, I think. He used to be a goofy, hilarious comedian. Now he's a deep, hilarious storyteller. I can just say the punchline and y'all mother effer's going to laugh, and I kicked her in the lady. Laughter. So I kicked her in the lady. That's why I make the big bucks. He rapes to save, and he saves way more than he rapes. But he does rape. Chappelle on Jussie is hysterical. MAGA hats? In Chicago? Find out where Kanye West was last night. Subway? Sandwiches? Juicy Smollett. Hannibal Buress. Dear God, it's me, 2 Chainz. Did you ever think about making a Bentley truck? I'm on that Molly but in New Orleans, for $200 and a day's notice, you can F up traffic. My favorite is when he asked 2 Chainz if he feels pressure to wear multiple chains. Shut your high butt up. Yes, I was high, but I also had that same thought 4 years prior, sober. Sounds like he's deflecting. I was so caught up in the euphoria of having all that apple juice that for like a minute I lived in a world where racism didn't exist. Tom Segura. Do you know who you're talking to? I'm a retired double agent. How do you get a job around here, F-face? You didn't follow Protobud. Wow, is he Japanese? Segura. Bikes. The F you took? Louisiana has left the chat. I've been out here for a minute. Yo Kane. Sup D. This man is a great storyteller. He just does it so damn well and effortlessly. You see any other cars in that parking lot, Junior? John Mulaney. Mulaney is at his best when he's telling you a story. It could be a made-up story about a horse in a hospital. Doesn't matter. He paints pictures with words better than almost anyone. Tom Jones's What's New Lady Cat? Comes to mind. We're not so different, you and I. You with your law practice, and me with all these effing markers. Easily the most underrated line in all of his stand-up. I prefer I gave you more money than the Civil War cost and you spent IT already. One black coffee is still one of the funniest things I've ever imagined. You have the moral backbone of a chocolate eclair. The bread of bread is bread. Only the man from Jericho can bring bread to bread. God can't hear you. I, too, would love to hear about the fictional airline, Delta Airlines. Then I go over to the Delta help desk, which is an oxymoron. In fact, we're going to frame you for murder, and you're going to go to jail for 30 years. Okay. I'm a little fat girl. There is a horse in a hospital. Man, I love him so much. For a second, we were like, maybe the horse catcher will catch the horse. And then the horse is like, I have fired the horse catcher. He can do that. That shouldn't be allowed no matter who the horse is. Not all the updates are bad, sometimes they're just odd. The horse used the elevator. I didn't know he knew how to do that. His story about his mom taking him to see Clinton was amazing. Bill Clinton never forgets a bitch. Anyone who's seen my dick and met my parents needs to die. I can't have them roaming around. Because I was lying. To get drugs. You know, like a crime. Yes, my wife and I love him. We quote him constantly. I think the one we say the most is done you want. A Best Buy rewards card. Insert relevant subject material here. A quote I use all the time is when it's raining I'll say one feels like a duck splashing around in all this wet. And when one feels like a duck, one is happy. Oh ducklings. Much too old to be a duckling, quack quack. Yeah, That is the best way to type Mick Jagger's response to sync that I can come up with. Not funny. At least we finally got that horse out of the hospital. My favorite though is Why Buy the Cow? YouTube link. My favorite is when he talks about assembly and the denim skirt lady, crying face, smiley face. We brought in a woman with homemade puppets to teach you kids about bullying. And you laugh at her? Street smarts. JJ Bittenbinder. That was 7-year-old John Mulaney, currently being sued for police brutality. Too old to be a duckling, quack quack. Patrice O'Neill and Doug Stanhope. Nathan Fielder. Kyle Kinane. I loved listening to Uncle Barbecue tell his dumb stories. Mike Birbiglia. I loved his first couple of albums, but I got to see Sleepwalk with Me in its original off-Broadway run and it was so well crafted. He's a really engaging storyteller. Rowan Atkinson, ESP in Blackadder and his stand-up. Weird to know that the live-action Mr. Bean only had 15 episodes, when it feels like we watched 9 seasons of that. Confusingly, the UK had a children's cartoon series called Mr. Ben in the 70s, and they only made 13 episodes but it felt like there were hundreds. It was about a guy who would go into a fancy dress shop changing room, but whatever outfit he put on would become the adventure. Similar deal with Fawlty Towers, sitcom by John Cheese and Connie Booth, which only had 12 episodes but is considered a classic. Maybe it's a British thing. I really like Tim Minchin. Brian Regan. I Walked on the Moon is my favorite stand-up special of all time. The big yellow one is the sun. John Pinette. Paul F. Tompkins. Bill Burr. Bo Burnham. I just thought, wow, this is going to be sad, and it was. I'm a genius. I saw an old man slip and fall, what an effing idiot. The line, I saw a boy who had red hair then silence, always makes me laugh. He's funny, yes. But his specials are so much more than plain stand-up. Make Happy was effing captivating. I can't believe I had to scroll this far down to find him. My favorite joke was when he did a bit in how white people always like the same foods. Bo, peanut butter and crowd, jelly. Bo, mac and crowd, cheese. Bo, our favorite chip is salt and by crowd, Nager. Bo, whoa. Okay, WHO said IT. Camera and stage lights pan towards audience. Mark Normand. Observational, somewhat sarcastic and cynical but funny as heck. Robin Williams. Have you seen his golf stand-up routine? My favorite. Stephen Wright. Why is the alphabet in that order? Is it because of that song? Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to be the first to know about Red Rabbit Reader's new videos. If you like our videos, please like them on YouTube and share them with your friends. We welcome your comments below. Press to start another of our videos.